Shalom and welcome to another Daily Bread series. I'm so blessed that you have joined me today. Let's get into today's verse, shall we? Today's verse comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 7. During his earthly life, he offered prayers and appeals with loud cries and tears to the one who was able to save him from death. And he was heard because of his great reverence. Great reverence, aka the fear of God. There is something so beautifully magnificent about the child of God that understands that the Lord is near, that the Lord hears, that the Lord counts every single tear, hears the sound of your voice, and feels the warmth of your breath as you cry out to the invisible God. We know that Jesus is Rabbi, aka our teacher, and the one that we model our lives after. The God who sets our example, our King, our Lord, our Messiah. When he lived on this earth, he approached his Father in this beautiful way. And this is something that we can all do, according to the book of Romans, when we can cry out, Abba, Father. With this knowledge that only your hand can spare me, only your hand can protect me, only your hand can preserve my life. So in our life, in whatever we go through, we must have this knowledge of the God of the universe. Our Father is the King of the universe. And as we pour out our hearts before God, and even though Jesus cried and prayed to his Father this way, we know that God the Father did not even spare his own Son from the cross, from saving the whole world. And sometimes God allows us to go through hardships, and sometimes the Lord will overlook what we are asking of him in order to produce something greater. Following Jesus is not always comfortable. And in these moments where we must press forward, we know that there is one who hears us. And in this knowledge, we are able to become obedient through what we suffer. As we declare, not my will, but your will be done. Learning how to accept God's perfect will for your life. Knowing that it isn't always the most comfortable and it isn't always the most pleasant. Sometimes you will be in the valley of the shadow of death. Sometimes you will be on the mountaintop. Sometimes you will be laboring, but nonetheless, not my will, but your will be done. And this is where we can call ourselves disciples, true followers of Christ. Though we may not get our way, we may not get our prayers answered, we understand that we face our life not alone. And we face our life with a God who declares that all things work together for my good, for your good. So let us take heart, let us be encouraged, and let us remember the God who hears, the God who sees, and the God who speaks. As we submit ourselves and surrender ourselves to this God, to his will for you and for me. Until next time, I will see you then. Shalom.